Hello, good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Okay. Let's revise what all things we have studied in like HTML, CSS. Good evening, everyone. In HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Then we'll start with the more like advanced versions of JavaScript functions, and then the REST APIs. Okay. So in the starting, we studied about like how we write CSS, how there are like different uh, ways of writing, like incorporating CSS styles in our HTML file, and then we studied how we can connect our like how we can connect our JavaScript file with our HTML file. For example, I have added script at the end of one thing more, we should always write the script at the end of our like body, at the end of our body tag. So this is how we write script, src, the name of our JavaScript file basically, and the script.js. Okay. So this was the like starting how we write HTML. After that, we studied how we can like write a lot of different things basically. So how we can do like console log, and we can do multiple like console logging, and we get them like something like this here in our like browser. If I go to my console, I'll be able to also write JavaScript here also. Suppose I write 1 plus 2 in my console, I will get a result. I can also say uh, console dot log. I can write here JavaScript also, some plain JavaScript. Only one line of code will be like added. So this is my console dot log hello. So that's how I can also write JavaScript in my console. And another thing we studied was how to write functions, how we can like add values similar to this like dollar symbol, how we write it in dollar, any variable in dollar symbol. We studied about these parameters, how we can add them and use them in our function basically. Then we studied about like loops, how we can yeah, like use loop and how it will iterate basically over the variable, array or string. Then we studied about the conditionals also, like if we add this condition and if this condition is satisfied, then we can get some result like this. Okay. So this is our like some simple JavaScript syntax. This is basically, let's just revise it a bit by using w3 schools documentation also. So if I go to JavaScript w3 schools, so here it's a really good documentation for like studying a lot of things, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript also. So starting, yeah, suppose I have this particular exercise and I have to create a variable named car name and assign it a value volvo to it. So what I will write, I will write var car name, this is my variable name, and I will assign a value of volvo to it. I have to do this. I'll submit the answer, and it's like if I say hide the answer and submit answer, then it shows correct. So the w schools documentation contains like a lot of basically things regarding JavaScript. So that's how we write like plain JavaScript. So this is the document object, like it's the DOM element. We'll like learn it how we access different things in our HTML file today only. So let me just go back here and start with today's portion. So this was like my how we write script, and in next we studied how what are arrays, how there are like different type of uh, methods for arrays like the push, concat, pop, includes, index of, reverse, slice, splice, sort, and a lot of like them. Then we studied about loops, and then we studied how we can create this to-do list app by creating this particular set of JavaScript, adding the while function, and giving these particular prompts. Prompt is something which is displayed as alert on a web browser, and we are able to see it on screen. Then we studied about the variables. So there are three types of variables in JavaScript: var, let, and const. Var is not used that much, but let and const is used a lot. Const is used when we don't want to like add or change the name of the variables basically, and var is used when we can change the name, like we can change the variable name's value. Then we studied about the strings, so how there are different types of strings in HTML. We can also add strings like concatenation. We can also like write different methods, for example searching, replacing them to uppercase and lowercase letters. Suppose I have this str dot to uppercase or str dot trim, so I can write this. Then I have this index of, and there are a lot of methods basically in like my strings. I also have this null. Suppose I have some value and it is not like defined, or I have not defined it in the variable, then by default it will be given the name null. If something is there that is defined, but when it's not like assigned a data type, then we will get undefined. There are also math functions like the mat.py, mat.round, mat.abs, absolute value, mat.pow, mat.floor, and mat.random. Okay, so to convert a string to a number, we like take parse and str. Then we have this boolean logic. We can like write these text basically: less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, equal to, and not equal to. We can also write this strict inequality. It will be based on like memory also. Like if two elements are there, if they have the same memory, only then true will be displayed, otherwise false will be displayed. This is strict inequality. Okay, see, I have also written the difference here: equal to versus triple equal to. Double equal to checks for equality of value but not equality of type. It is not like this is not like this is true in double equal to case, but for triple equal to case this will be false. Then we can console. If we want to clear our console, we can select console.clear. We can add alert and prompts and all of these things. Then we came to our intermediate JavaScript part, where we studied about the functions. How we write function: we write the function, then the function name followed by these brackets, and then the parentheses. Then we studied about the leveling of functions. So how we can like write a function inside another function, and we can use uh, a particular variable that is declared in my previous function in this nested function basically. So, and I can then call this function basically, cry for help, in this particular function also. So this particular function, it's called like the higher order function. So some what functions like this: suppose I have a function. Yeah, suppose I have this particular function called twice func. Okay, so this is a function called twice function which takes parameter of another function, and we call this function two times. So call twice is here an higher order function. Similarly, suppose I have this call 10 times function and roll die. If I am calling in this mat.floor and mat.random function inside my roll die, then this is my higher order function. Now how we return a function is, suppose I have a function make mystery function, then I write this variable const random function mat.random, and if this random number is greater than zero point 0.5, then what we do, we return a function. We return a function just like how we write a function: return, and then a function followed by these brackets, parenthesis, and inside this we like console.log, congrats, I'm a good function, and you win $1 million. Similarly, in else we can like return a function, another function also. Just like we return variables and values, we can return function also. Then what I have is like, see, I can also add conditionals in return. If I just return this function num and return the condition, if num is greater than equal to min and num is less than equal to max, then only my num will be returned. So I can also add conditional like this in my function. Then I have const my math. Suppose I have declared pi here, and then I square this by using like square function, cube function. Then basically I can use the keyword this. Suppose I have const cat. Okay, suppose I have this const cat, name of this, color and breed of Persian, and I declare this one function here. So suppose I write here this. Okay, so it will print the cat object basically. This will print the whole cat object here. If I write this dot name, then this will print like the name of the cat. Okay, so this is how this keywords works. It's very like it's similar to oops in C++. Then we have this another function in which another variable in which I can just write cat dot this function basically. So it will give me what? It will give me this dot name or this based on the use case that I have given. So this was the use of like this keyword. Okay, here I've written the same things, method, shorthand. Like this is the shorthand. Suppose I have this const math, multiply function, then return xy, divide function xy, return x comma y. I can also write it like this: const math equal to high, add and square. So I can also write like my function like this also, and this was the this keyword. Now, after that, we studied about the try and catch block in C++. So suppose I have to like write a condition that try console logging this particular portion, like try to do these things. If we receive some kind of error, then catch them in the error block and then console log this particular section basically. Okay, please pass a string next time. For example, I have written this function only in my function yell, and I passed the message basically. Let's check what happens. I've gone to my index.html file. Let me just copy path. Have you understood up till now? Okay. Let me just go to my browser, paste this. Okay, go to my console. See, there are like no issues. Suppose I have to pass this message. Okay, suppose I pass const, uh, or I can say let message equal to get it from I guess prompt. Okay, prompt, enter your string. Okay, this is this particular thing I have written here. Now let me just go back, click on refresh. Okay, prompt, hit on refresh. And now suppose I write my name, click on OK. Then what I get in console? Nothing. I do not get anything in console. I have to like console log my message also. So let me just try console logging this particular my message, what I receive here. If I refresh this, write my name, I'll get this with my line number 2 in my console. Okay, if I have to like pass a string, suppose I pass here Ramsha. Let's see what happens. No issues since it has like changed its success now for now. So it will try and it's a success. If I pass something like number, then I will get this particular thing error. So this particular syntax can be used to print the error basically. So this is the use of try and catch block basically. Then what we have is we have the callback array method. Okay, so I have a lot of callback functions in my like array. So what are callback functions? Callback functions are like they accept functions as their arguments and then they like run on it. So what are callback functions? Callback functions are functions that accept functions as like arguments. For example, for each, this is a function. It calls the function once per element in the array and it does not return anything. It is not basically used a lot, but we use it sometimes. We can like it can be needed sometimes. So let me show you an example of for each function. I have like this. Okay, my for each function in my app.js. I have yeah. So let me copy this path, paste in my browser. Okay, let me write anything. H1, welcome to callback functions. So I get this particular heading, welcome to callback functions. Then I have connected this particular app.js file. Let me for now remove everything. Let me just comment out everything. Movies also, this particular text also, this also. So what have I done? I have like commented out everything in my JavaScript file basically. Let me just close this. So I have commented out everything in my JavaScript file basically. Just a second. Yeah, I only have this const numbers equal to some number from like array of 1 to 20, and what I'm going to do is I am like printing some element, okay, and I'm console logging this particular element. So how I can do this? Let's say I want to like print one element. So let's try print calling this function. I will call this print, and I will like I want to print the this third number, for example. So I will call this function, and just like this callback value I will pass numbers, okay, numbers. And if I want to like print 3 here, so what I will do, 0 1 2, this is my second index, so I will write 2 here. And if I like go back, I have not written console log here, but I want to print like my 3 number. My rest of the things are commented here, nothing is written. So let me go back, click on refresh, start my developer tools, go to console, see what I get this third number. Suppose I change it to 0. I want to print the first indexed element, so I will get 1. Suppose I want to print the last value, so what I'll do, I will write 19 here. Then what I'll get this 20 value. So what I am doing, I am passing the parameter in my print function. This parameter goes to my like print here in the place of le, and we are able to like console log this. I can also call this multiple times, just like this. Print numbers 1, print numbers 2. So I can do this. Suppose I want to like print all like these numbers one by one. So what I'll do, I'll write for like I'm explaining you the use of for each. Okay. So suppose I write this and I write for each print. Okay. Like for each number, you have to call this particular function print. So what, let's see what this will do. If I refresh, see, for my every number, this print function has been called by using this for each callback function. So this is particularly a function which takes another function as its like parameter, as its input, and that's why this particular function is called the callback function. And it is what it's doing, I don't have to write like the index of anything, but I am able to like display all of the numbers one by one, since it's calling all of these functions basically. So that's the use of like for each. I can also like do mathematical calculations here also. Like I can also create one function. Suppose I say numbers dot for each number, do one thing, create a function, create a function, this particular function, and pass one parameter here, I can pass one parameter. Suppose I can pass any parameter. I have for now passed this p parameter. Okay, I have passed this p parameter. Then what I do, I just open the parenthesis for this particular function, and what I want to do is for each number that is present here, I want to divide them by 10. Okay, I want to divide them by 10. So what I'll do, I'll write it like this: p equal to p divide by 10, and then console log p. Okay, I have written this. I have written this particular thing. For each number, I have to call this callback function for each, and what it will do, it will like create this particular function p, and then we'll p divide by 10, and then console log this particular value. I hit on refresh. Here what I get, you can see all of my numbers have been divided by like 10. All of them have been divided by 10, 10, 11, and all of these numbers. See, point 1, point 2, point 3, point 5, and up till 20. All of them have been divided by 10. So this is also how I can write this for each callback function. I can also like call them for like this. This is called array of objects basically. Suppose I create something like this. Suppose I create something like this movies portion, and I open these array brackets, and inside this I can like specify one object. Okay, this is called array of objects. I give it like id of 1. Suppose I give the name to some movie ABC, and I create a lot of like I can create a lot of objects here. ID2 name EFG, and ID3 with the name, let's say XYZ. So what's happening, I have created this array. It contains the objects, array of like different objects, so that's called array of object. I can also like call this for by using my for each callback function. So what I have to write, I have to write here movies. So for movies dot for each, what I want is, I want to call a callback function basically. I have to like pass one function, so I will write one function, or I can create it outside. Does not matter. Function, I will pass the parameter. I will pass the p parameter. I will open this. I will add parenthesis, and for each of these functions, what I want to do, I want to like console.log. What I want to console log, I want to console log only these names. I don't want to console log the IDs. So what I can do is, I can just write here console log this symbol, and then the dollar symbol. I can write here movies dot name. Okay, so what I will get displayed here, movies, the name of all the movies will be displayed here. Okay, so suppose, or I can also say, for now let's try this. What I have done, I've created this movies array of object, and for each, what have I done, I have console log this particular like thing, like console log movies dot name. Okay, I can also write here like p dot name. Okay, let me just check. I think I will write p dot name here. Movies, yeah. Here what I will write p, because I have changed the parameter in my function. This function, particular function, takes the parameter p, so that's why I will write here p dot name. Okay, due to this parameter basically. Let me just save it, just check it once again. This is my function p, inside my function console log this particular value p's name, and this will be done for each of the values of movies. Let me go back, click on refresh. Then you can see I have only displayed the name of my all the movies. Suppose I also want to print like IDs of these movies. So what I will do, I will add this dollar symbol and this, and I can write p dot id. In the now what will happen, all the IDs of my movies will also be printed. Fine. I hope it's clear. Fine. So this was for like for each, basically what we can do. So this is the first callback function that we have for JavaScript. Now what we'll study about the map function. Okay, the map function in JavaScript. It's also similar to like the for each function. There are some little differences in this. So suppose I have this particular text, uh, this particular array containing the texts. I have my this array basically. This is the array which contains like these particular set of texts. So what I can do, let's say I want to print them. So it works just like for loop and while loop, a little bit different. The syntax is a little bit different basically. So it works just similar to for loop. So what I can do is I can just write text dot map. Okay. So what I can write text dot map. So let me just write it here. Uh, text dot map function and t dot to uppercase. Okay, so this will be like I can write const uppercase, change them to uppercase. Suppose I want them to change them to uppercase, then what I will do, I will write text and map this text with a function. Basically what will be this particular function, this function will take one parameter. Suppose this parameter is t. I will open this particular function and I will write here change all of these like t dot to uppercase. Okay, let me just check if we write uppercase like this here. Yeah, so we write t dot to uppercase. I write this, and what will happen? All of my these alphabets will be changed to uppercase. Okay. Suppose I just console log here to show it to you that these are the text that were previously displayed, and after that, what was displayed. So I have done this text.map function and change it to like uppercase. Okay. Let me hit on refresh. Go back, refresh this. Okay, text is not defined, so since it's text s capital, that's why it's not defined. Now it will be defined. Text dot map. See, so what you can see is I have received this first console log. I have not console log t here, so I will not get anything. Let me just console log t also, then I will be able to like get t here. Okay, so just a second. Return. Okay, I have to return this for it to change. It will not change like this. So what I will do is I will return t dot uppercase. By console logging, this particular value will not change. I have to like map all of these values, so I will return. If I just use console log, then my uppercase values will not get changed. Let me just refresh it. I have got like this particular value. Let me just also remove this. There are some of the like issues that I'm facing here currently. Just a second. Let me just try console logging this particular function after returning. Console log. Mm, have I used two uppercase like in a wrong format? How can I show you this? It's like returning these. Okay, 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 fine. So what is happening is it's getting saved here in uppercase basically. So text is this particular array, but I am like storing this new mapped value basically in my uppercase. So if I just console log here uppercase, then let's see what I get. UPER. This is my uppercase for now. I refresh. See, I get these capital letters basically. So what I was doing previously, I was console logging text. So this will not change. When I use map over text and I save them in uppercase, basically, in that case, they will be like converted to dot to uppercase. I can also like use to again if I use T dot to lowercase to lowercase, then all of them like will be converted to lowercase alphabets. Okay, so that's how we use this map function basically. First use case of map function. Then what we can do is we can like also multiply some particular number. Suppose I have an array of const, what I can say is const a equal to, they contain number from 1 to 5. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to like map them with map, like create a new array b, and I want to map all of these values by multiplying them by 2. So what I will do is I will write a dot map. Okay, then I will write one function inside this. Inside function I will add this parameter, suppose t, and inside this parameter what I will do, I will add parenthesis, and I will return here t into 2. In this way all of my values that are present here 1 2 3 4 5 will be mapped with multiplied by 2 values, and they will be saved in b. Now if I console log b, let's check what happens. See, all of my like numbers have changed to multiplied by 2. 2 4 6 8 10 1 2 3 4 5. So that's how we basically use this map function. We can like also return like movie titles and everything. Suppose I have like this particular array of object const movies, and I want to return all the name of the movies in like my uppercase values basically. So what I will do, I will write const uh, capital movie names, and what I will do here, I will write movies dot map, and here I will write one function, pass the parameter, hit on like create parenthesis, and then I will write return t dot to uppercase uppercase. Then all of my name of the movies will be like what they will be like displayed as what I can say to the uppercase. Just a second, I have to pass movie title also. Just a second, I have to pass. Yes. So what I will do, I can do one thing here. Where was it? Yeah. So what have I done? I've created this T. If I want to just like change the movie name, so what I will do, I will write T dot the name of the movie, then that particular name of the movie to change to uppercase. Then in that case, I will write T dot like name to uppercase. If I hit save here and go back, console log capital movie names, console log capital movie names, go back, hit refresh, then capital movie names. Okay, 20 dot I'm not able to get like movie names. Let me just remove all of these things, rest of the things. I've written it somewhere in my different like page. Let me just clear the console. Console dot clear. This will clear my console. Okay. Now let me write here only capital movie name equal to movies dot map. Let me just run everything. Okay. I am getting the movie names. See, they are the capital movie names basically A B C E F G X Y Z. These were my movie names A B C E F G and X Y Z. So that they all are getting displayed as capital on AppJS line number 38. So my this particular function is present on AppJS line number 38. So I am getting these capital movie names basically. Fine. Okay. So. Uh, this was like the use of how we can use the map function on different variables basically. Is there something else? Let me check. Okay, so yesterday I also taught you about some different type of functions. For example, we have these arrow functions. Okay, how these arrow functions work. uh, Suppose I write here const. They are also called methods. Suppose I write const arrow, and then I've defined this. Open the parent, like the call the brackets here, curly brackets, and I write here anything console.log hello. Then this particular function will be called my arrow function. Okay, I can also write a function like this. Then I have implicit returns. What are that? Suppose I have this const roll a die and mat.floor mat.random like this. So this is like my implicit. I have returned this will be like returned on its own. I don't have to like write here this return function. Okay. Some. So a plus b, this is the same thing. Okay. Movies, this will be like the same thing. Return movie dot title, and movie dot score. This will be like displayed here. Movies dot map, and I can also write like map here basically. So these are the implicit functions and different type of like callback array methods. See, for arrow functions, suppose I have these arrow functions, I don't need to write return here, and I can use normal bracket instead of curly brackets. And if the like function body is really simple, we can skip brackets as well. So what have I done here? I have written here. See, I can write a particular function like this also. Suppose I write this arrow function like this. I have not used like brackets here, curly brackets here. I've written const sum equal to pass the parameter a and b, and then a plus b. Suppose I call this function sum on like 1 and 2. Okay, I have done this. I have passed this function for this particular value. Let's check if we are getting 3 in as our output. Let me just remove everything. Yeah, so this particular thing will be returned if I write here console log also. So I can write console log here also, and I will get this particular value console dot log a plus b. If I write here, then I'll be able to see 3 on my screen. So this is 3. So that's how I can also write like they are basically the implicit functions. They don't need to write return, and we can skip the curly braces part basically. Fine. Okay, so we are done with the callback part. Now let's start with the set timeout and set interval part. Let me just copy this particular index.html file. my index.html file. Inside body, I will write one heading, welcome to set timeout part. Set timeout part. Hit save on refresh. So what I've written welcome to set timeout part. So now I have added script here. So now I will go to its app.js file. This is the app.js file. Let's try console logging hello in my like browser. I get to inspect, go to my console and hit on refresh. So I get hello. So I am getting this, like I have linked my css file. So what this set timeout function does, suppose I have written something like this. I write set timeout to basically console log are you still there after a time like comma of 3000 seconds. I write this callback function like this, like set timeout, then this parameters, then arrow, and console log this particular thing after 3000 milliseconds. So what will be done, this are you still there will be like printed on the screen after 3 seconds. It's not like displayed instantly, but after 3 seconds I am getting this. I can also increase this. Suppose I like increase it to like 10,000 milliseconds, then this will be displayed after 10 seconds. Let's wait for 10 seconds. After that I will get my this console log message. So after 10 seconds I am getting this message, are you still there? So this is the basically use of my set timeout function. If I just write here goodbye, so what's happening, I have written here console log hello, then I have added one set timeout of are you still there, and then console log goodbye. I have written three console, hello, are you still there, and goodbye. Let's check how they are basically working. Refresh everything. Okay, so you can see that my third value goodbye has been printed much before what I can say, much before uh, like are you still there. Now are you still there is being printed. Goodbye was printed on the start only. Let me just refresh it, show it to you once again. This is my hello, then goodbye, and after 10 seconds I will be getting displayed are you still there. So what's happening here, the reason is that the set timeout function, this is basically the nature of the javascript is asynchronous. What asynchronous means, that if some of the function is taking some particular time, let's say 10, it's taking 10 seconds time, and I have some more functions after written after this, then what will happen in javascript, all of the functions will like start executing, and after 10 and it will be like added in the loop, that after 10 seconds call like this particular console. But till then, till 10 seconds, do one thing, write all these functions, so like all these methods that are like written after that. So what will happen, everything will be printed, and after 10, when 10 seconds will happen, then are you still there message will be printed on my screen. So this is called like asynchronous nature of javascript, and we'll study it in detail later on. But for now, just understand that this timer function is working asynchronously. That's why all these things have been printed before, and after 10 seconds I am getting this are you still there. Okay, so this is a very important thing to understand about javascript basically. Then what we have is we have timer id. Suppose I what this was about the like set timeout. Okay, let me just comment out everything of set timeout, and let's start the like set interval part. Let's start the set interval part from here. So what is the set interval part? Suppose I have my timer id. I have like taken this timer id, and I have in my timer id use this particular function set interval, same as the set timeout. These brackets, arrow, curly brackets, console.log mat.random in a duration of 500 milliseconds. So what will happen, my any random number will be generated in a duration of like 500 milliseconds. Let's check what happens here. Let me refresh. After like 5 point 0.5 milliseconds, what I am getting some random numbers being generated infinitely. Okay, they will continue getting generated. See, they will continue getting generated after a duration of like 500 milliseconds. If I write clear interval here, what I have done, I have like set this interval. If I like clear this interval, I clear this timer id. Let's check what happens if I use this. I refresh it again. What will happen? My now nothing is getting displayed. Why? Because I have cleared the timer id. So after like 5 this works, and then this clear interval function works, and what I get, I just hit this random number. It is not getting displayed since it's getting clear a lot of times. Let me just increase the time and show you 1000 milliseconds and remove this, because it's like erasing everything from timer id, so we'll not be able to see anything on the screen. Let me just, so what is happening? After 1 second, my random numbers are getting generated. If I write here clear interval, then as soon as I write this clear interval, everything as soon as I refresh will be gone. So that's how we stop like the interval. Okay, that's how we stop the interval. So this was about the set interval part. This was like the set timeout part, and this is the set interval. Now we have another function which is called filter. Let's see how this particular filter function works. Okay, this is like the part of filter. Suppose I have my numbers from 1 to like 20. I have my numbers from 1 to 20, and what I want to do is I want to like filter them. Okay, filter all the numbers and return only those numbers that are like less than 10. We do not have to return anything. We can just write here the filter. So let's see what happens. I have to return n equal to 10. So let's return this in some like new variable. Some, let's say const new filtered, or I can say filtered numbers equal to numbers dot filter, and pass return all the numbers that are less than 10. So let's console log these filter numbers. Console dot log filtered numbers, refresh, and see what is happening. I have added const number from 1 to 20. Numbers contain 1 to 20, and what I have to do here, I have to filter n. I have to filter n for all the values return n less than 10, and I've console log this. Let's check what I'm getting displayed. So I am getting all the numbers that are less than 10 by using this particular filter. So that's the like property of filter function. Suppose I have this another array of object, the movies. They have title, score, and year. Okay, they have title, score, and year. Score, they also have this particular score like 90 score, the 77 score, the 95 score, and 71. They have like different scores basically in their array objects. So suppose what I do is, let me just remove this particular portion or comment out this portion. I have commented out this particular, like I filtered this particular portion, and what I do here is, let me just, yeah. So I will print all the good movies. Okay, whatever done, I have done taken the variable of good movies, and I have added one filter, movies dot filter all the movies that are basically they all the movie equal to arrow function, then movie dot score which are greater than 80. Suppose I have written this, so all the movies that are greater than 80, that have score greater than 80, will be displayed. So if I console dot log all the good movies here, let's see what is being displayed on my console. So see, all the movies that like have a score of 99, 85, 98, and 90 will be displayed. So these are all the movies with a score of greater than 80. Suppose I want to like just print the name of only these movies, not everything. So I will write here movies dot name, and what I will get, I will just a second, good movies dot filter movie dot score. So good movies. Okay, one more thing, that good movies dot name, this will not be displayed like correctly. So I have to use map here. for like displaying all the names of here. So I will write here one another function of map, and then I'll be able to like display the one particular thing like name and anything of that. That's why it's coming undefined. I'm getting here everything, and if I want to like print name, then I will use their map function, and then I'll be able to like print all the hello, am I audible? Asynchronous nature is basically the when I write one function. Am I audible? Asynchronous nature is basically the function, the property of like a JavaScript, where if I've written one function, and below that I have another function, and I am like for some reason my first function is taking a lot of time, suppose 5 seconds or 10 seconds, then in that case what will happen? My second function will start executing. That's why I was like getting the console log that was written later on to be displayed before the set timeout console log. So that's the nature of like asynchronous, and JavaScript is considered asynchronous. Okay, let me just share my screen. Just a minute. Okay, so if I use here like map function, I write good movies dot map, and then inside map I will, what I will do, I will pass like this parameter. Suppose I pass t, I add this here t. What I will do here is map and then arrow. Okay, just a second. uh, just a second. What is the issue in syntax? Let me just check. Yeah, so what I am doing here is I am writing something like this. Okay, what I have written here, I've written is here t good movies dot map t. Okay, so t basically what it will give, it will give basically all the like numbers, okay, all the like names of the movies. If I remove here console log good movies dot map, I have to like add them also somewhere. Let me check if I can console dot log all the values of t dot name. Let me just check if this particular thing is like running or not. I don't think this will run. Let me check it once. Yeah. So this is not working because I am getting like console logging this. So I will give here this uh, function. I will write here it like this. What I will do is I will add these mapped values somewhere else. Const like name equal to good movies dot map. Okay. T2 console and then return what return here good movies like t dot name. In this way I will be getting the name of all the my movies basically. I have like not written the syntax of map correctly. Let me just check it once. Yeah. So uh, let me just write here where I was set timeout and set interval. Yeah. So I was writing here I have to map one function here basically, a function which will print my movie's name. So function which takes t as parameter and it will like return movie's name. If I console log here good movies, like if I console log here name, I will get the good movies name only. So that's how I have to like use map function for printing movies name also. Okay, let's save here, click on refresh. So I get something like the movie names basically t dot name. Inside this name I will get like my movie's name basically. If I just change let me change the name to something else. I can add here movie's name because name is a keyword in JavaScript, so that's why it will not work correctly. If I write here m name or something like that, then it will work fine. Okay, this will work I guess fine. Okay, so that's how we can like add map function for writing all the good movies here. So I hope you have understood about the use of filters in JavaScript. And suppose I want to like print the good movie titles. So see they have written here good movies dot map like I was doing before movie and then map it to like movie dot title, movie to wrap movie to movie dot titles, then I will get these good titles basically. Whatever basically I was doing here, good movies, okay, and good titles. What how I will get it? I will get it like this good titles. Let me just remove it. Yeah. So I will get good titles, good movies. These good movies map it to movie such that movie dot title will be displayed. If I go back, click on refresh, I have to console log also these good titles. So let me just console log good titles. Console dot log good titles. Click on refresh. So I will get all the good movie titles here. If I combine both of them, so how I can write by combining both of them. uh, First let me just remove these three codes. If I combine these two and what I get good titles equal to movies dot filter m based on m dot score greater than 80. Then for writing another function, what I have to do next, I will write dot map m to m dot title. In this way I will only get like title of page basically. Now if I write good titles, then I will also get the same output. I will get the same output as before. So I can also like write things like this. Suppose I want to like of again write bad movies, so I will use movie dot filter movie and movie dot score less than 70. And I can also like recent movies, so movies dot filter movie dot year greater than 2000. So that's how I can use the filter method in JavaScript basically. I hope it's fine. Screen is not visible. Is my screen not visible? I think my screen is visible. I am able to see my screen. Please reply yes or no if you are not able to see my screen. Okay, so might be some issue with your internet connectivity. Ritika, please check it. I think rest of the people are able to like see my screen. So okay, okay. So that was about the set timeout and like the filter function in JavaScript. Then they are all asynchronous functions basically. See, let's revise them. This is the set timeout function. I write console.log hello, write it after a duration of 3 seconds. Then I have this set interval. It will be called for every x second. To stop the execution, what I have to write? I have to write like clear interval to stop it. After certain very clear interval and it will stop. So this is, and then we have the filter. Now next what we have is we have this sum and every functions basically that we are going to like study about. There are also sum and every. What are these sum and every functions in JavaScript? So let me open this file, copy path, paste it. Let me just write here. What are we going to study here? We are going to study here the sum and every function in JavaScript. So we are going to study about the sum and every function in JavaScript. Let me go to app.js part. So what I have here is I have like the array of exams, and I think they are the score that I have received in exams. Okay, so 80, 98, 92, 78, 75, 90, 89, 84, 81, 80, and 77. So this is the exams array. So suppose what I do here is I write exams dot every exam score that is like greater than score every. I have to write here score, then arrow function score greater than equal to 75. Okay, so let me just comment out rest of the things. Exams dot every. Let me just comment out const movies also and every movie also. Refresh. What I have right now on my screen is of exams dot every exam that have a score of greater than like 75. If I refresh, click on inspect, go to console. Okay, we cannot access exams before the initialization. So I have not like I have initialized the uh, before it. Just a second. Exams cannot be accessed. Okay, so let's check first the someone. Okay, console. Uh, Let me just create one new const. Uh, some exams. Okay, some exams equal to exams dot sum of the exams that have a score less than 75. Let's check. Oh, okay, I have not console log here. So console dot log some exams. Refresh. Okay, So what it's giving as my output, let's see. So it's giving false. So what this means, if there are like some of the exams here that have a score of if even some exams are there that have a score of like less than 75, okay, then I should like console.log these exams. But the issue is that even not one exam is there which is less than like 75, whose score is less than 75. So that's what I'm getting is I'm getting like this score like the output as false, because there is no exam that is like less than 75. Suppose I write here give one exam that is some exams that have a score of less than 100, and I refresh. So I get true here because there are some of the exams which have a score of less than 100. Okay, so that's how this sum property works basically. Again, what I can do is let me just comment out this sum, and I will add here every exams. So what this means, every exam basically should have a value of like less than. So if there is every exam that have a score of greater than equal to 75, then let's check what happens. I should get output. Okay, exams before initialization. Let me check what is the issue that I'm facing here with every score. Just a second. Let me just check it. Why am I not able to see this? Mhm. Is my screen visible? Is this particular portion visible? Okay, so I was saying that if I console.log, suppose I've written here exams and I write const every exam. Okay, so exams dot every score which have a score of greater than equal to 75, and I just try to console log this every exam. Then what I will get in my screen, you are not able to see my screen. Let me just share it once again. uh, is my screen visible now? I think it's visible now. Okay. So, yeah, I was telling you guys about the every function in JavaScript basically. So what happens is, suppose I had written here some exams, so there should be at least some exams which have like a score of less than 75. So it was not there, so we were receiving false. So if I write here every exam and exams dot every score to be greater than equal to 75, then you can see that all the scores that I have here are greater than or equal to 75. So I should get a true in my like console. Okay, if I go here and I refresh, so see I am getting true here displayed. Suppose I change it to less than 75, then what I get it, I get false. Why? Because I don't have like all the my numbers which are less than 75. Suppose I write all the numbers that are less than 92, every score that is like less than 92, what I get false again. But although there are a lot of numbers, because I want every exam to be less than 92, every exam score to be less than 92. So that's the difference between some and every. Similarly, suppose I comment this out, I comment this out, go like here. So what I have here is, I have here my array of objects of like some movies. Okay, const movies. So these are like the different movies. I have score here also, and year of like their display. So I have to check if there are any movies which are like greater than, which have a movie year of greater than 1950. If I refresh it, so every exam is not defined, it's saying. So let me just go back. Every exam on line number 6. Okay, let me just comment it this out. Every exam, then I have to console log this particular thing. Okay, console dot log all the movies, if there is every movie which is has a year of like greater than, which has a year of like greater than 1950. Fine, if I save it, go back, hit on refresh, so I will get true, because these all the movies are greater than 1950. So that's the use of sum and every. It will return a boolean value. See, sum returns true if any element in the array satisfies a property. Every returns true if every element in the array satisfies a property. So these are the basic difference between sum and every. Then also we have some like other functions like the reduce. So if I want to like just reduce the total and the like price, so I can like use this reduce basically. Let's see what this reduce is doing. Let me just copy path, go back, hit on like paste this, and inside my body I will write one heading, learning in this portion, reduce, and arrow this function. Okay, so let me refresh this, view inspect, click on console, so everything is working fine. So now I have added a script. I will open this app.js file. Okay, so I go here. So what I have here is, I have my price array of like different values, and what I have done here, I have like written const sum equal to prices dot reduce, total comma prices, and total plus price. Let's check what this sum is basically printing here. Console dot log sum. I have used here this reduce, and let me just comment out rest of the things. Let me just comment out this. Let me just also comment out this. Also comment out this particular thing, and this also. Okay, I have commented out everything, and what is like here, only this sum prices dot reduce total price to total plus price. Let's just check what I am getting here. So I am getting here 1100.98. So what this means is 1100.98. What is this basically? Can anyone tell? See, so reduce this basically reduces the arrow, like the our array, to basically a single value. So how is like it does that? It's like up to us. Suppose I want to like reduce this particular array. I write array dot reduce accumulator. First one is the accumulator. Second one is the current value, and I return accumulator plus current value. So what will happen here is I will get something like 35 in my like output, because this has been reduced to a single value. Basically, this has been reduced to a single value. It has basically added all of the numbers. Like, this has been reduced to a single number. This is like the sum of everything. Okay, sum of everything, like 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9 plus 11 will be 35. So if I just write here this array to reduce and accumulator and current value, and then return accumulator plus current value, then I will get 35 here. Similarly, what's happening here is, if I just see here, so what's happening here is I have written here total and price, and I have added price, my price, with the total. And if I console log on this sum, then I am getting 1100.98. Now just try adding all of these values, you will get this particular answer, 1100.98. So it's doing like literally it's trying to what it's trying to do, it's like trying to adding, like sum all the values present in the array. So that's the use of reduce, and it will reduce this particular array to a single value. This is the use of like reduce. Okay, suppose now this was the prices example. Let me take another example. Suppose I have minimum price. Okay, so in minimum price I have prices. I have to reduce this particular prices such that there is this minimum and price. And how I will reduce it, I had first given it the sum value. Now if I have this minimum, and this minimum is less than price, okay, so I will return that minimum value. So what this function is doing, it's like returning the value. Basically it's returning the minimum value. If I console log on this min price, console dot log on the min price, so what I will get, I will get the minimum price. First it will check the first value. If it is minimum than the second value, uh, then min will be returned, otherwise price will be returned. And similarly it will check for the minimum value. So I should get around 1.5, I think, as the minimum value. So that's how this reduce function is working to calculate the minimum value. Similarly, I can like write them for the movies also. If I write here const movies, and this the array of objects of movies, and I want to like reduce this, basically reduce this array to movies dot reduce, and to the like the highest rated movie. If the high score is less than the movie score, I have compared here two objects, and if I write here like the high score less than the movie score, then I will return movie. Okay, otherwise I'll return high. So what I will get here, I will get the movie which is the highest rated by using this. I will, if I just console log here highest rated, then what I will get, highest, hight, yeah, highest rated. I go back, click on refresh, then I will get the highest rated movie, highest rated score of the movie. So that's how this reduce function is working for the array of object of the movie basically. This will the higher score is 799, so I'm getting 99 here as my highest, like highest value. Now let's take the next example. What I can do is I can like also write the starting point of the like my accumulator. Okay, so how I can write this? Suppose I have even numbers 2, 4, 6, and 8, and I want to like sum the even sum. Okay, I want to calculate this even sum basically, and I want to like start them with like 100 something. So I have reduced this to sum. Okay, it will start with my first value and it will check the num value. So if sum plus num, I have to give return sum plus num. And what is this comma 100? We'll check it a bit. So suppose I write console.log here, and I write even sum, evens sum, EVENS small u, even sum. I go back here and refresh. So I get something like 120. So if I just add everything here, if I add 2, 4, 6, and 8, so I will get 20 only. So why I am getting 120 here? It's because I have written after my this sum plus num comma 100 also. So what this 100 is doing basically, this 100 is adding like is the starting point of our like adding sum. So uh, after 100 what I will get, after 100 2 will be added, then 4 will be added, then 6, and then 8 will be added. So that's how I get like 120 here. So this is the even sum, and I can also use this for like reducing my array to basically this value. Now what we are going to study about is the arrow function. Understood up till this part? Default value of accumulator is 0, and if I want to specify some starting value, then I told you here that we write here the starting point after comma. I have written starting point 100, so it's starting from 100. If I write here 0, then it will start from 0. If I have not written anything, then it will start from 0 value. Okay, this is the like starting point default value of accumulator. Now I have another thing is the arrow function and this. So suppose I have written something like this. So what is this? This is an object. Okay, this particular thing is object here. So what I have done here is I have written const person, and basically first name, last name, and the full name. Okay, and for full name I have defined this function which will give this like first name and this dot last name. It will give like particular something like this. So what this arrow is doing here, it's like giving the first name Vigo and last name as Mortison. Okay, and if I just try like console logging this, then I told you about this function earlier, it will give Vigo Mortensen, like same thing like that. And this is this particular thing, I have not written here arrow, so I am getting an error. Okay, so it's important to write these values in the form of an arrow. If I write here arrow, then this will work fine. Okay, so that's the use of arrow function. For example, I have written a full name, then these bracket, then arrow, and it refers to the window object which doesn't have first name and last name. So it does not have a first name and last name. And if I console log this and return this dot first name, let's check what I get. Let me just comment this out. All the functions that are present here, I have commented them out basically, all of them. Let me just comment this shout name. It's written 2 times, this function. Okay, so what's there is I have this const function. I have first name as Vigo, last name as Mortensen, and then full name has a function of this dot first name and this dot last name. Then what I have is I have this full name, and I want to like console log this here and return this dot first name and this dot last name. Then I have shout name, and I have written a set timeout function, and I have console log this, and after set timeout I have like this dot full name after a time duration of 2 milliseconds. Okay, let's go back to my console and check. Reduce method is applicable for arrays. Okay, it's applicable for arrays. Arrays can be of any data type. If I refresh here, I get nothing on my screen because I have not console log anything. But I can just do it. Hello, is my screen visible? Okay, so I was like explaining you guys about the different functions of like this, and how this reduce function is working basically in our code. Yes, so I was explaining you about the reduce and the accumulator function basically. So I think that's all for what we want to like study, what we should study about JavaScript, and it will be sufficient for like web development. You can check out the W3 Schools documentation. Also, I am sharing you the link from where I'm referring these notes. You can just check them out. Just a minute, I'll post these like notes on GitHub, and I'll share you the link. You can go through them, and you'll be able to like complete rest of the parts which I have skipped right now. Okay, tomorrow from tomorrow we'll start with the like backend part on tomorrow, and that will be the APIs. Basically that will be related to APIs, and also the like MongoDB, how we connect MongoDB with and use it with Express, and what are middlewares, and how we like add authentication to our web page. We'll just cover all of these aspects. Let me just do one thing. Just wait for a second. You meanwhile you can like ask your doubts regarding today's session, and I'm in a minute pasting the link of all the notes that I have like taught till now in the comment section, so you can like ask your doubts. Meanwhile, just let me just share you guys the notes. Do you guys have any doubts? Do you guys have any doubts regarding today's session? Okay, so let me just share you notes. You can refer these notes, and whatever is I have not like uh, just a second. Okay, I'm not able to like post the notes here. They are important. You can refer them, but due to time constraints, I'm not like able to complete that these portions basically. Okay, what you can do is I'm not able to like show it to you guys. Just search this particular web page. Just search on the web learning full stack development on GitHub. Then you will be able to like find the notes there. and also go through the W3 Schools documentation. There you'll be able to find each and every detail of JavaScript. From tomorrow, we'll start with the backend part, everything that is there in the like backend. So search on learning full stack web development, you'll be able to find them. Okay, fine. If there are no doubts, think we should end the session if there are no doubts. Tomorrow, just try learning a bit about like the Node.js, what is Node.js, how we connect Node to MongoDB, and it's like similar to JavaScript. So I think we should end the session. Okay.